Selamat malam Bapak Ibu semua. What is actually the perspective from media in the green issues? And then we will have around 25 minutes to exchange view on the following of the program. I will be briefly in 2 minutes explaining the program for 2013 and 2014 and then get some feedback from you all. And then we will be starting the activities within the coming months. So without further ado, I would like to invite Pak Rahmat to deliver speech, welcoming speech.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of the National Council of Climate Change, the DNPI in Indonesia, I'd like to thank Pak Rahmat Gobel, my namesake. Rahmat Gobel, I'm Rahmat Bitular, so we share the same name. And Pak Yusman Syari Jamal of the Matsushita Global Foundation, Mr. Ushir Shigeru, Minister Embassy of Japan in Indonesia, and Mr. Atsuki Sasaki, Chief Executive Chairman of the JICA Indonesia Office for the consistent and continued support to the government of Indonesia in mainstreaming climate change issues. Your support comes at the right time, as we are in the process of developing better institutional arrangements to cope with the challenges of the changing climate. Secondly, I'd also like to express my and our appreciation to Mr. Wahyu Mulyadi and colleagues, very eminent and senior chief executive, chief editors in the forum Pimpinan Redaksi or editors and chief forum to participate in this occasion. I am doubly happy at the presence of and interest of the media and press corps in today's topic and overall Indonesia's commitment in facing the problems of climate change. I do believe that the press has a critical role in shaping our dialogue towards stakeholders' engagement, in promoting green initiatives and shaping the public's views and informed opinions on climate change. Welcome aboard, Mr. Mulyadi and your friends. I'd also like to thank all the distinguished guests and participants whom I see around these tables, who continuously participate in various activities in this green investment and vision and productivity initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished audience, success in tackling a highly complex climate change problem will require strong will, great policy skills, and above all, a global commitment to fairness and justice, according to the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities among nations. These principles underlie Indonesia's strong commitment in facing the problem. The roots of climate change are anthropogenic, meaning it's man-made, and need to be unmade by man himself. However, this is not necessarily common knowledge. Not everybody knows that. This is where the role of the media is very strong. The media can harness the knowledge, power, and interest of the public to be more aware of, to be more educated in, and interested in the roots of the climate change problem and solutions, both from the top down and the grassroots. The stakeholders of all levels rely on the partnership of the media to spread the message of climate change problems and solutions to the citizens in language that the public can understand and digest. And we hope to continue this great educational and informative partnership with the media and press corps. So now, tonight, we have a very great leap forward, where a triad of the government, the press, and the people are in harnessing climate change, because it cannot be done only by a part of it. and of course, businesses are very important. So this triangle hopefully will be stronger to face the climate problems. Governments and businesses face the challenges of how to combat climate change while also ensuring the right conditions for sustainable economic growth. A number of challenges that influence this transition include the reduced quantity and quality of resources, unprecedented impacts of the changing climate, as well as the inadequacy of existing institutions in responding to the issues. Investment and innovation are essential elements in driving the economy towards sustainable development. Combining these two elements will create a new market for goods, services, and employment. As such, a significant investment is needed to ensure the institutional transformation that will maintain high economic growth and at the same time ensure the lowering of greenhouse gases. Innovation also plays a critical role in finding new ways towards sustainable production and consumption. That is why the three keywords, investment, innovation, and productivity, are keywords towards all these efforts. We need innovation to ensure productivity. The government of Indonesia has committed to make a 26% cut in our greenhouse gases emissions by 2020 against our business as usual emission scenario. President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono has stated that with the right level of international support, we could even go as far as 41%. In order to respond best to these challenges, in 2010, the National Council on Climate Change, the DNPI, of which I'm the executive chair, in cooperation with the Matsushita Global Foundation, MGF, and JICA, initiated the Green Investment, Innovation, and Productivity Forum. This is a series of thematic dialogues designed to reach broader audiences who are interested in the importance issues of investment and related aspects such as finance, technology, and capacity building. The speakers are preeminent thinkers, practitioners, as well as green innovators who lead and have landmark ideas that can be implemented on the ground. Potential areas to be covered, among others, are policy and incentives development, technology and investment, and financing through available climate financing. On the policy issues, an integrated approach is needed to put economic and social aspects to the framework by interpolating global discussions into local strategies and plans and translating this into what ordinary people can do so that effective decisions and actions can be made. This is, I hope, is the job which is well borne by the press and with the representative of the chief editors here. On investment and financing, for example, these include concerns on how to link environmental change issues to everyday lifestyles and consumption patterns, and to bring, quote, carbon into social safeguards issues, and eventually convert the carbon challenges to business opportunities, leading to jobs and income. The potential green investments have been identified through various schemes of public, private, and private financing. Therefore, there is a need to encourage collaborative efforts, particularly for the developing countries like Indonesia, where impacts of climate change are likely to be felt most severely because of resource and infrastructure constraints. Mainstreaming climate change issues into planning, designing, and implementing development activities may lead to better life for all in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 2 years, this initiative has brought about dynamic changes on how non-government and private actors engage in the process towards low-emission development strategy. I do believe that this is an important step in transforming the concepts into actions in the near future. Today, in the second round of the Green Investment, Innovation and Productivity, we will be continuing a series of dialogue and sharing knowledge, the best experiences on various issues related to impacts as well as opportunities for many experts, practitioners from different areas and industries. I hope that this dialogue will be a fruitful one and will contribute to our effort in achieving the national target of emission reduction. Thank you for your attention.
Now I would like to invite Shigeru-san, Minister from the Embassy of Japan, Indonesia, to deliver the welcoming remarks.
His Excellency Mr. Rahmat Witras, Executive Chairman of National Council on Climate Change, Mr. Rahmat Global, Mr. Global Foundation, Mr. Wafuyu Muyadi, Chairman of Forum for Editors-in-Chief, Mr. Atsushi Sasaki, Chief Representative of JICA Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to be here today, and I'd like to say congratulations for launching the second round of Green Investment Program, which is organized jointly by National Council on Climate Change, Atsushi Global Foundation, and Japan International Cooperation Agency. In 2011 and 2012, we had a series of seminars on green investment, innovation, and productivity to deepen our insight on these issues. And today, we start the second phase, in which we expect to have some publication of green investment, timely followed by breakfast meeting to share and discuss that. Japan is working in close collaboration with the NPI in promoting low carbon development. I'm convinced that our collaboration, including series of green investment seminars, will contribute to developing low carbon policy in Indonesia. The point of investment and innovation, the involvement of private sectors is essential to promote low carbon growth. In this regard, I expect Global Foundation will take a significant role to lead the industry in disseminating low emission technology. As you know well, Japan is trying to establish a bilateral offset mechanism through consultation with countries in Asia and Africa, including Indonesia. We believe that this new mechanism can accelerate the introduction of technology and investment to Indonesia. Lastly, I would like to express my appreciation to the NPI, Global Foundation, and JICA for organizing today's program. And let us look forward to the further cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ushio Shigeru-san. So now I would like to invite Atsushi Sasaki, Chief Representative of JICA of Indonesia.
Mr. Rahmat Witras and Mr. Rahmat Gobel, Minister Shu, and Mr. Muriadi of Temple, and ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to be here representing Japan International Cooperation Agency, co-hosting today's important event together with the NPI and Global Foundation. I have just taken up the post as the Chief Representative of JICA just 10 days ago. I have just arrived from Tokyo, and this is my first occasion to make a presentation as a Chief Representative. And this is a very good occasion for me to be in this important forum. And on behalf of JICA, first I'd like to inform you that a new cooperation agreement has just been signed last November between JICA and the NPI. And the objective of the cooperation project is to strengthen the NPI's coordination and evaluation capacity to enhance the climate change policies in Indonesia. And the project had three components. The first component is the policy assessment to translate international decisions on climate changes issues into the Indonesian national policies. The second component is related to the monitoring and evaluation to assess mitigation and adaptation actions in Indonesia. The last third portion is information education and communication activities in disseminating climate change issues. That is the major part of the new project agreed with the NPI. And today's meeting is one of the key activities in the cooperation project. And I'm happy to be here today to see the launching of the second round of the Green Investment and Innovation Program. It is certainly a great honor and privilege to co-host this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, taking into account Indonesia's ambitious plan to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 26% until the year 2020, JICA continues its support through eco-friendly projects, including such infrastructure as the mass rapid transit system, as well as renewable energy like the geothermal power plants. In addition, we will develop our cooperation on policy-based activities, including the involvement of private sector in climate change issues, since the target is so challenging that Indonesia as a country as a whole needs to address that in a comprehensive manner. In this regard, we can say both the project to be implemented between the NPI and JICA and the meeting on green investment today are to be launched in a very timely manner in this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to conclude by expressing once again my appreciation to all of you for joining this occasion, and also appreciation for all the stakeholders and related parties concerned to make it possible to launch this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Atsushi Sasaki-san. Before I hand over to Wahyu Muryadi as the keynote speakers, I would like to invite Pak Yusman Safi Jamal, the chairman of Matsushita Gobel Foundation, also as a member of National Innovation Committee, chaired directly by the President.
Thank you, Bapak. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Yusman Sabri Jamal. I'm the chairman of the Matsushita Global Foundation, which built by two great our leaders. First is Mr. Konosuke Matsushita, the founding father of Panasonic, and also Mr. Taib Muhammad Gobel, Mr. founding father of electronic industries in Indonesia. So this foundation is built in 1984, and then I became the chairman since 2005. First of all, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to first, of course, to Pak Rahmat Fitullah, Dewan Nasional Perubahan Iklim, or National Council on Climate Change, because of his initiative, his green investment, innovation, and productivity roundtable discussion is already done by at least 13 times. So we do that because we know that Indonesia always said that voluntarily we want to reduce our carbon to 26% in 2020. Secondly, I also would like to thank to Mr. Ushio Siguro-san, Minister of Embassy of Japan, and also Atsushi Sasaki, Chief Representative of JICA, because we thought both of this leading figure, this initiative cannot be come true. And then, of course, also today in this launching session, we have the very honored guest, Pak Wahyu Muryadi. Pak Wahyu Muryadi is now is the famous chief editor in Indonesia, in the country, because he is the chairman of the Forum Pamphlet. Forum Pamphlet is the forum of all the chief editor in Indonesia. Therefore, he always accompanied by the chief editor, example like Pak Don Bosco, coming here also. Thank you for coming, Pak, and Pak Tommy from Metro, and also Pak Indra from Pak Muhammad Ihsan from Warta Ekonomi, and also Pak Arso from Journal Indonesia, also coming as the chief editor. This launching is very important because if I may recall, at least there have been three important outputs that we consider as a foundation to support the collaboration effort towards green industry. First, for the last two years, since 2010 until 2012, we have undertaken series of dialogue and entitled Technical Roundtable on Green Technology and Green Industries. It has encouraged the importance of a green industry and green technology roadmap in responding to the challenges and opportunities of global climate change. Second, the National Council on Climate Change has also provided us with a great opportunity to participate in various national and global networks such as Indonesian Carbon Update in Jakarta, and Asia Forum on Carbon Update in Bandung, March 2011, and also Southeast Asia on Climate Change in Jakarta, May 2011, World Business Council on Sustainable Development, March 2013, to promote our efforts to support the climate change agenda. Third, today, green investment, innovation, and productivity will enter a new phase in crystallizing all of the ideas discussed in the first round for the last 2 years to become implementing action. Therefore, we invite for the first time in this launching session our driving factor to socializing the green industries by inviting Pak Wahyu Muryadi in this occasion. We are very honored for this time. By giving this speech, I think I would like to thank you for all participation, and again, thank you for coming.
Now, I would like to invite Pak Wahyu Muryadi. When the first time he asked me what is the topic about this, I think I said that you can start with many issues, but please for this occasion probably I said that you can give us the better insight when because he got a lot the message from the public as well as the key stakeholders. So then I would like to invite Pak Wahyu Muryadi, chairman of the Forum Pemimpin Redaksi, editor-in-chief also of Tempo.
First of all, on behalf of my colleagues from the new organization, but very important one, Indonesian Chief Editor Forum, we call it in Bahasa Forum Pemret. Why we call this very important organization? We just we founded in the 2012 in 18th of July. It was founded by the 55 of chief editors from the mainstream medias in Indonesia. They are coming from the multi-platform media, not only from the television, but also the print media, from the online media, and also from the radio, and also portal media. This is also very important because, you know, maybe you can, if you read the newspaper or the television, that some of us invited by Mr. President of FBY in the palace, and we are talking about the, you know, very sensitive topics, very sensitive issues, heart to heart with Mr. President, with a deeply conversation, secretly, but some of them on record. Yeah? And Mr. President enjoyed the meeting, and he called me 2 times at least, and asked me, when do you have time to talk to me? I said, oh, you mean myself or only on Forum Pemret? Oh, okay. Yeah, we meet maybe on April in the informal discussion with Mr. President, and the next, on the 25th of May, we will have a special informal meeting with Mr. President SBY in the Bogor Palace. He will prepare for us special nasi goreng, you know, by himself, you know. But I said to him that you have to be careful because you have to prepare to all of us 55 chief editors, and he agreed to do that. And finally, we will set up, you know, what do we call it, Chief Editor Summit. I think this is the first Chief Editor Summit in the world. Chief Editor Summit of Indonesia, and hopefully will be held in Nusa Dua in Bali in the beginning of June. So, from this forum, I would like to invite you to participate on that very important occasion, hopefully. And, of course, I'm not forget to say thank you very much. First of all, of course, to Mr. Rahmat Witolar, the President of Special Envoy on Climate Change, the Executive Chair of the MPI of Indonesia. Rahmat Witolar is a close friend of mine. When I was a young journalist, was review about politics, always every day talk to interview Mr. Rahmat. He always gave me a background information about the politics. At the time, he was the Secretary General of the Golkar Party, the ruling party. At that time, close to him. And also, I would like to say thanks to Pak Rahmat Gobel from Pak Susita Gobel Foundation, also Mr. Jusman Shafi Jamal, and also to Mr. Usio Shigeru, Minister Embassy of Japan in Indonesia, and Mr. Atsuki Sasaki, Chief Representative of JICA Indonesia Office. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Let me start with the two things. First, about the good news, and the other about the bad news. Of course, if you're talking about the media, I was talking about bad news and the good news. Let me start with the good news. Yeah, let me make you smile. Yeah, relax first. I can say this is the first participation of our organization of Forum Pemret, Indonesia Chief Editor Forum, to engage, yeah, to participate and to organize with a very it is such a very useful and of course important forum. I think this is the right address to deal with the Forum Pemret. As I mentioned before, we are including the 55 chief editor of all the mass media, mainstream mass media in Indonesia. This is the good news, and hopefully this cooperation, yeah, we can maintain, for the long period of this very through this forum and discussion like this. The bad news, to be frank, the issue about the climate change, even about the green issue, the green investment, green innovation, everything, it is according to the some or even maybe most of the chief editors in Indonesia, most of the mainstream media in Indonesia, the climate change issue is not a hot issue. It's not a sexy topic being discussed or even covered by the press. Yes, I'm so sorry. I must to tell you this, the bad things. They prefer, or rather, interest on the very sexy issue about corruption. About the scandals. There's so many scandals in Indonesia. Sorry to say, about terrorism, human rights issue, of course about economics, politics, including the SBY family. Yeah. Even the issues regarding, the celebrities habit in Indonesia. That's why the issue about the celebrities issue now, according to I have a friend here, chief editor, I cannot mention because he's not here. He said to me that the ideology of the mass media, especially the television, I don't know, maybe Mr. Tommy from Metro TV agree with me or not, yeah. Based on the two things. First, is depend on the rating and revenue. Rating and revenue. Remember that? 2R. Rating and revenue. If the program, rating of the program is high, of course we will continue the program. Revenue means the program makes money. Yeah? But sorry to say, the issue about the green economy, it has nothing to do to make money. This is cost. Yeah? Yeah, Mr. Tommy, you can explain after me. Or Mr. Don Bosco from Berita Satu TV. This is the new television. Mr. Don, you can explain to all the distinguished people here how you always invite me to talk about the very sensitive issue about the scandals, everything. No. What about the green economic issue about the eco-labeling? No problem. No cannot buy you. It's difficult, difficult. Be dangerous even. Because the rating is slowed down. Always like that. Sorry, Don. Yes, even our marketing man in the daily conversation in my office in Tempo, yeah, if we are not covering about the corruption issue or politics issue. Once upon a time, I planned to set up a cover story about the new and renewable energy. And you know what the response of the marketing man? They smile. I think the market will refuse. You know? And they will not recommend us if you cover that very important. I know this is a very important issue. But the way you explain to the people, to the public, to the media is not so easy. And even maybe the people, they will more interest on this very hot topics or hot issue rather than this climate change issue. Maybe this is abstract, I don't know, right? Tokyo Protocol, I know nothing about that. And even I don't care. This is the marketing man says to me. Not me, of course, I know everything about the green. I can tell you, after the meeting, of course, Oh, that's why I would like to say thanks to Mr. Ahmad Gobel from Mahasiswa Global Foundation, because he and Pak Yusman and Pak Rinaldis on the organization invited us. I think it's 15 journalists and 15 chief editors and some reporters. We were invited by the Mahasiswa Global Foundation to go to the United States, to the law school of Harvard Law School. And the second one, we went to Washington to discuss about the climate change topics to the CSIS forum in Washington. This is a very prestigious forum. And last but not least, we went to Japan, we went to Tokyo and Osaka, saw how the Japan are trying to promote the new and renewable energy, especially in Osaka, to catch up the solar energy. This is very important. That after that, I asked to my colleagues, what do you think about the trips? It is very useful. Special thanks to Pak Ahmad Gobel. Thanks to Pak Ahmad. Now we are getting more understand how to know about this very important issue. And finally, Tempo published a long story special edition about the new and renewable energy, as well as Majalah Gatra and some of the medias, even though the marketing refused us to do that. Yeah? Because for me, our ideology is money is not everything. Yeah? I'm sorry, my English is look like a Japanese English. I think for me, the most important one is you understand what I mean. And I think there are two reasons to explain why this issue is not so interested by the chief editors of the media, mass media. The first, I think, the players, the person who promote this very important issue, they fail to explain the news values of this issue to us. They always talking about the green investment, green innovation. What the hell is this? So, the most important one, you have to explain day by day. You have to, you have to start the mission for the campaign, for the national campaign of this issue in Indonesia, and you can participate and join with us in the forum editor, forum Pemret, free of charge, of course. Yeah, don't think about the money. We need money, but don't think this is free of charge. We will promote you how to explain in terms of in the best way, in the better way, or even the best way to the public how important this issue. And the second one, the second reason is it is not easy. It is technically it is difficult to what do we call it? to spread this issue through the television. I thought Mr. Kami Ilyas, for example, is not here, but send the video. I don't know, Mr. Kami is very busy now. Kami Ilyas said, Mr. Kami, why TV1 don't set up a very important issue of this climate change? He says to me that, why you? He speak like this. I know what you mean. Talk, to be frank, as a senior and junior, you're my junior. Oh yeah, yes boss, I know. He's my boss all the time. You have an important issue, but not interesting one. You have an interesting issue, but it is not important. I know this climate change is the important issue, but not interesting to the media. Say like this. If you don't believe me, you can talk directly to Mr. Kami Ilyas. That's why, even though we published already in Tempo magazine in Bahasa, even in English also, I wish I could claim this is the most comprehensive coverage on climate change and new energy and renewable energy, but the marketing man's unhappy with that because the rating is not so good. And as a media man, let me tell you our secret, that in our daily conversation in my office, in all also my colleagues, so chief editors in many mass media, we have an adagio or creed of the press that bad news is a good news, and good news is no news. Bad news is a good news is no news. Talking about the green investment is bad news or good news? It's good news. Good news means no news. Something like that. So, I myself, with Mr. Tommy, Mr. Don, Mr. Ihsan, with some colleagues of the team, I'm trying to, to save this mindset, the way of thinking of them, to change, to save this, how to reform this adagio to become that good news is good news. I think green investment, green economy, green innovation and productivity is the good news. Good news. That's why as a journalist, a professional journalist, that we have integrity and credibility, we have to promote this as a good news too. This is our challenge. And also your challenge as a activists or players of those very important issues. Of course, needs to build a network between the press, with all the players, all the activists, all the promoters of these very important issues, to get closer and closer. Yeah, you have to deal with the media because you need to spread this issue to the public. You cannot directly to spread this to the public. You need the mass media is bridging. There's a bridge to spread this information. So, as on behalf of my colleagues on the Chief Editor Forum or Forum Pemret, we open to you, to all of you, to discuss and also to make new cooperation, to make engagement. In a simple way, maybe you can visit my office. Why you don't talk to the media, the big media in Indonesia? Go to Kompas, go to Metro TV, go to Berita Satu, go to everywhere. Yeah, this is very important issue. Yeah, it takes time. Need special effort, work hard, and also, but don't think about the money. Be free of charge for this very important issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mas Wahyu, for the insight and then the perspective on the challenge of issue facing by the journalists. So I also would like to invite some other editors. One is the Mas Tommy from the Metro TV, and then also Pak Don to probably give some other insight. Could you, Pak Tommy first, yeah? Yeah, please, Pak.
Thank you. This is not a sudden death, but I don't prepare myself to speak something. But I think that Mr. Wahyu Mulyadi has told everything. Of course, he's right that this is not a sexy issue for the media. But sooner or later, never for, what do you call it? It is still take time to always engage with the media to socialize this issue. I have joined the climate change conference for 3 times with SBY. One of these moments is in Copenhagen, and the other moment is also in Rio also. It is typically when I told to my team in this room, I have a report, special report from here, from Copenhagen, but it's not an interesting issue, yes. So sometimes if we join by SBY, he always restricted with the focus issue and no other issue to be a new, another news for the report, but always must be engaged with the topics he made with the climate change conference. But still, after the conference, that is gone away. So I agree with Wahyu that I think that the participants or the activists, please come to the media office. It is open office like Berita Satu. Just a few minutes ago, I asked Mr. Rahmat Gobel to go to Berita Satu, and I will give him 30 minutes to talk about this. You know that the interesting point of the climate change issue is if there is so many accident years, it's occur, and that it is a bad news, and also this must be a good news. Like in Bandung, you know that landslides yesterday it happened, and 9 people are dead because of this. Many of them is lose their house, and they said that's a good news. But no one can give us the perspective that this happened because of climate change or something. That's one reason. I think that our colleagues in Forum Pemret is very open to talk about this, and like Pak Wahyu said, that still need time to endorse this issue to our crews in a newsroom. And quite different, you know that TV is always based on visual. It is quite different with the print media. So no visuals is no news. So if you make a press briefing or press conference for the climate change issue, I think that you also be better if you prepare video release, not only press release, print media or online media, but also video release. And I think that now new media is also open for you, like YouTube or any device for video. You can spread the idea anytime to the internet. And I think that so many people also can join this issue via internet. I think that's all I can say to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Padon. So then I would like to invite Mas Tommy to share the sentiment or opinion. Please.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are from the media have a very hard burden after hearing the speech from Pak Rahmat Itulah, because Pak Rahmat told that media have an important role to save the earth. Like Wahyu Nuriadi mentioned, that it's not easy to promote, to bring the people, to enlighten the people to more understand about the important how to manage the climate. But I think since I was in Kompas, I have already cooperating with the wife of Pak Rahmat Itulah, Ibu Erna, that we set up what we call the Green Festival. I think we have already 3 times conducting the Green Festival. There is the contribution of media to trying to promote about the important thing that we have to save our environment. And I fully agree with Wahyu Nuriadi that the environment, climate change is not the sexist issue. There is the problem is cannot bring enough revenue for the media. But I think media have the other role. Media have the task to communicate the hopes. And I think the media is like a candle that all the media people is trying to light the candle and trying to make it light as long as possible. Because I think, especially in Indonesia, even our president have already targeting that Indonesia will be reduced the CO gas emission to 26%. But I think with 50% of the Indonesian people have education is first grade school. I think it's difficult to bring the people is more understand about the important thing about the environment, about the climate change. But once again, I think the media cannot be stopped to speak and trying to convince many people that the climate change is our challenge, and we must be hand in hand with the business people, with the government, and all the people is trying to make the best way that we can do to save our earth. I know that maybe in the short term it's not quite enough contribution for the media, but with our consideration that we are the communicators of hopes, that I think media at least can deliver their contribution to to once again make our life is more better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We just heard from the key persons of the media. Now, I think as you mentioned, that's about the bad news. So I would like to invite from the non-media. So we are here, donors, industry, NGOs, even scientists. So then I would like to invite, first of all, Ibu Christina. What is donor perspective? I think you see the challenge, and then you never on the mainstream media, but probably how you respond to that. Thank you. Please.
Thank you very much for having us. As development partners, I will do my best to represent all of us here. Thank you, Pak Rahmat Bitola, for being here and for holding the torch for so many years, and Pak Rahmat Gobel also for promoting from private sector. And it is a very welcome break, and it's very refreshing to have this discussion that we're starting today for earnest on the media. So thank you so much for representing all of the editors, 55 of you, here today. Terima kasih banyak Pak Wahyu and Pak John and all. Thank you. Let me just say, as representing development partners who've been working in this field for many, many years, not just in Indonesia but across the world, we've come from effectively the environment box and been fighting and arguing and influencing and supporting for many years how to communicate the environment in other terms that actually really are more economic terms, so security and human rights terms. In fact, all of those issues that are sexy, that are hot, that communicate the threats that we actually are all facing today, but also the opportunities, the profits that are there to build and to earn if we have the incentives and if we take hold of the opportunities. For example, new renewable energy and others that we can really actually manifest as such an incredibly rich country such as Indonesia. So I'm very happy today to say that as development partners, we're all in the process continuously of building new programs to support our Government of Indonesia colleagues, and civil society colleagues, and also, to some extent, also the media we've been working with and hope to work with more in the future, especially to communicate these issues in ways that help you, but also the private sector. And very interesting to have these sort of the triangle that was mentioned before about people, banks, people, media, and government, but there's many others, the private sector and critically also the media, how to communicate that. So in some former work that I was working with, incidentally with the Danida, the Danes, we were trying to discuss how in Kenya one could communicate these issues. And we found there that the easiest way that they could communicate to their people was in terms of security terms. Food security, energy security, water security. And I know that in the past, and still today, Bapanas, for example, is very much still communicating in those terms. And in SBY's previous administration, and hopefully up until today, those still take hold. So we would like to very much work in our new programs as they materialize and as we develop them. How can we help, for example, the media to think through how to communicate these things? And I know that as development partners, we're also always trying to find how to document for the public consumption the different types of audiences through visual as well. Documentaries are also more and more part of how we communicate our things. So we very much welcome opportunities, I think all of us here, to come and sit with you and discuss how best we can help you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christina. I hope that all the chief editors here really understand of what just Christina mentions. But now I would like to invite my very close friend who also talking about very complicated issues. He's the specialist on the energy, Dr. Hardit Situmea, to give also the share with you some of the issues, especially on the energy. And now he is a director of the ASEAN Center of Energy. So Pak Hardip, I would like to invite you to just share your difficult issues of climate change. Please, Pak.
But Wawan, it should be directly tonight. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared very well for this. But anyway, since we work together with the DNPI and also with the Environmental Department since 2002, I get involved with climate change. So the one thing is to close the gap is the most important thing. I give you an example about there is many things. The new flow is come to the society. Something like carbon value. What is the carbon value? And then global coherent action. What is the global coherent action? So many things. So we have to close the gap. So I think Spembret here is bridge the gap in order to have some go to the roots and explain this in the wider scope. And so many people also in Indonesia, they know about some key elements regarding climate change. I give you example this one. I'm right now attached to the ASEAN Center for Energy. And then next May, we will organize with the Indonesian government focal point of the ASEAN Forum on Coal about carbon capture and storage. Then what is the carbon capture and storage? You capture the CO2 and then you transport and then you inject in the geological storage. And it's very simple things, but the scientific is very complicated. So these we have to explain. So many things comes about energy side and also from the other side, we have to close the gap to the public. And then public perception, one of the key elements about this. So we have to make it some channeling to the public here, and then make it some regular discussion in order to bridge the gap, the perception, particularly under climate change issue. So in energy, many things also need to be done here. Because when we discuss about investment, innovation, why so slow the investment? What is the key element need to be solved here? We have to explain this. So I think this is some key element regarding here. I appreciate, thank you very much. Pak just took me directly to speak here, but I think you know this. And then what next is we have to close. I give you example also about we get involved about nuclear. I made under ASEAN Center for Energy. This is just equivalent about what the questionnaire for the ASEAN 10 country member state. I made the needs about nuclear energy cooperation. So we make some questionnaire from the closed loop, from the pre-decision phase, decision phase, and then from operational phase, and also from post-operational phase. What is the key element of this? And then we ask about the ASEAN members, and then we end up the key element. So this is the key elements attached to the climate change, for example, is the most important things. One key element for the nuclear program, example, is the public acceptance. So we have to close to find what is the key elements under public acceptance. Yeah, on every sector. One thing also, the climate change is multi-sectoral basis. It's not attached just only for other sectors. It's a multi-sectoral basis. So the approach must be integrated, merging and ranking. This is need to be done. So this is I think this is, we have to close the gap, find the key elements and cross-sectoral basis, and then close the gap, and then see what is the public perception. This is the most important piece. It's not just only in the energy sector, also in other sectors, it's because this is cross-sectoral issue, need to be integrated together. I think this is my short speech. I'm sorry, I'm not ready for this, but can be like a rolling ball, and then Pembret also, I think they know how to do this, but make it some regular discussion with the public, and then to see what is their perception. From that point, we can go to elaborate further. Thank you very much for your attention.
I think here we also have the NGOs, one of the international NGOs from the World Resource Institute Indonesia. So I would like to invite Pak Andika. He's a young guy, and with the spirit also initiate many important research in Indonesia. So I would like to also have some feedback from you, Mas Andika.
Thank you, Pak Farhan. This is unexpected. I have to go out. Yeah. So apparently everyone is on the stage now. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Pak Ahmad Witular, Pak Ahmad Gobel, Pak Wahyu, good evening, and good evening to all of the distinguished guests tonight. My name is Andika. I'm here representing the World Resources Institute. We're working on environmental issues and also economic development. Our name might not be well known among Indonesians because our presence in Indonesia is not still a brick and mortar office. Currently, we only have 2 staffers in Indonesia. One is me, I'm alone in Jakarta, and the other one is in Bali, my colleague. But this is a very interesting forum, and I would have to be frank with you that I'm new to the environmental issue. So I joined WRI last year, and the first thing that I noticed when I learned about environmental stuff, environmental issue, forestry, climate change, carbon, and our project is working now on sustainable palm oil. The first thing I noticed is that this issue is one of the most important issues to be addressed. It's very urgent, and it linked to millions of livelihood, but with not with no coverage, but it deserves more coverage by the media. In WRI, at least in our DC office, we're working with a very powerful media team that if we want to have a press release or a launch of a program, we will consult with them, and then they will decide which is the best message, what is the best tone to speak to the public, to speak to the media. And fortunately, we have a very engaging president right now, Mr. Andrew Streer. Ibu Katrina might know him because he's the former World Bank director in Indonesia. So it is a very interesting thing when I see our project in Indonesia got mentioned in the media. Our project got picked up by because this is an environmental issue. We are very happy if our project is mentioned by, say, Manga Bay or Guardian or the New York Times. But it is very hard to get the news of our project in Indonesian media. I believe this Forum Pemret is a very good group to talk with about this issue. And yeah, I think that's one of the biggest challenges to overcome if we're talking about environmental issue in Indonesia. Another thing is that some people in Indonesia still think that environmental issue cannot go hand in hand with economic development. Indonesian government has a lot of initiatives on for example, green palm oil. I was in Bali yesterday for the Post 2015, and we have this Indonesian MDG Awards, and they have a youth forum as a side event of the MDG Awards. And there's this young man, he's on a ban, and he's promoting to boycott palm oil, for example. And all of the audience cheering him, supported him. And I think this kind of negative campaign on certain issues should be accompanied by also a more comprehensive understanding of the issue. I believe Greenpeace is also working on sustainable agriculture expansion in Indonesia. Pak Farhan is also working on a low emission development strategy. This can also go hand in hand with economic development. I think that's the message that we need to convey with the media, and the media can approach this outreach to greater public. I think that's all for Farhan. Thank you for the opportunity.
So I think that's the perception from both sides. Before I hand over to the other Rahmat, Pak Rahmat Pak Rahmat Gobel. So I would like to share with you what is our plan for the coming 2 years. So that's why I would like to please okay, this is first one. I think as an objective, we would like to continue the conversations, and as we agreed that this is not only the issues we raise on the several occasions, but really we would like to create a forum between the key decision makers and also key players in this area. So this is one of our objective. And then next slide, please. Then for 2013 to 2014, we have a series of activities. The first is a series of dialogue, and we are planning to have every month a focused discussion group on very specific topics, and then also by inviting the experts from different areas as well as the practitioners. So I think now we have a good start. We have the donor agency, we have NGOs, we have a private industry, and so on and so forth. And also we are trying to summarize that information, and will be one of the information that we are planning to publish the Green Investment magazine every 3 months. So together with the Pak Wahyu and team, probably we can come up with very good writing. So the gap that Pak Hardif and others already mentioned will be, resolve the issues. Second is we are also populate our portal. We call it Green Investment Indonesia Network. So if you have any information, please feel free. And we are trying to also to use the social media. I think by next week will be our discussion on the Ustream, on the Facebook, on any social media. And of course, part of that we have also, as Pak Yusman mentioned, we also involved in the many network, Indonesian Carbon Update Network, Asia Forum on Carbon Network, and also together with ASEAN Productivity Organizations. And the third area is the publishing Green Investment, Innovation and Productivity Outlook. We are planning to have by October 2013 the first publication of environmental Green Investment Outlook. So this is our assessment on the investment, innovation and productivity. And lastly, we are planning to more organized program on what we call Green Leadership Incubation Program and Awareness. So some of discussion with Pak Rahmat Gobel, with our colleague from the industry, we are planning to not only visiting, but thank you for the opportunity for us, offering the opportunity to come to the media, but also we are planning to have a collaboration with you. For example, how because you are so busy, the chief editor-in-chief, to share together the difficulties of the climate change, for example, together with you in very informal meeting, but very substantive, and then also we will be inviting the eminent or expert in this area. And together with Pak Rahmat Gobel and also JICA, we are planning also to have a teleconference and other thing. So basically, this is the overall program. Next, please. The last slides, and also you have the address, the website address, greeninvestmentindonesia.net. We have very enthusiastic young people on the back who populate with all the informations and then try to also introduce me a lot of new things on the IT that we can share all the information on the green areas. So that's all. Probably Then also if there is also some comment or additional proposal from you, or probably we can share, then please feel free. I give to you probably one or two comments from the audience here. Please feel free. Probably Pa would like to comment on this program? Oh? Yes, please.
Selamat malam semua. So I'm Paul Chambers from the British Embassy. And I think this is a very innovative program. I mean, I work on energy and low carbon development, and I think too often our programs go straight into a lot of technical detail about the economics of technologies and about the choices in renewable energy, and that leaves a lot of the public and even policymakers not very engaged. But just going back to the earlier discussion about the role of the media, I think it's really worth thinking, why do we need a public information campaign at all? Why can the government not just lead, implement policy and regulation? Why the government can just act on climate change, introduce carbon restrictions or product policy? Why do we need media engagement with the public? And I think there's two reasons. I mean, one is actually we need the public. We cannot tackle climate change just from a sort of niche. It needs to have a very broad engagement. So if we want people to invest in high efficiency products, if we want people to invest in clean transport infrastructure or to change their behaviour at home, then we need a very, very broad national discourse on climate change. But I think the second, and probably the most important for Indonesia right now, is around creating the political space for action. Pat Hardy mentioned the public acceptance of nuclear, which is a very important issue in some countries. In Indonesia, probably the single biggest issue is tackling energy subsidy. I mean, the energy subsidy affects every issue around renewable energy, around energy efficiency, and actually the government does not have the political space to eliminate subsidy. That's a huge area where the media can make a massive difference to public policy. But another one which I think will come down the road is when policy starts to become difficult, then the vested interests, the fuel companies, the companies that will lose out under climate policy will, and I know this will come, will fight a very vicious campaign to block climate policy. It's happening all around the world, wherever there are losers. And the first thing they do is try and sow very misinformation about climate science into the media, about the fact that, okay, weather does not equal science. We can have, I mean, 10 out of the last 10 years have been the warmest years on record. I don't think any serious scientist doubts anthropogenic climate change, and yet if you read the media in the UK or America or Australia, you'd think they're still arguing about the climate science. So the media has a really important role in conveying honestly the science and not being swayed by the vested interests. But I was struck very much by Pat Wahiu's comment about bad news. Only bad news is good news, because we have tried using communication on climate change in the UK for many years, and the one thing that does not work is fear and doom and gloom scenario about, well, we're going to have floods and bad weather and landslides and everything's going to go bad. That doesn't engage people. That doesn't change behaviour. It doesn't work. So it has to be a positive agenda around aspiration, around giving people a vision of something better. I mean, I like this image of green investment, green innovation, green productivity. That's all really positive. But I think the challenge for our media colleagues is, well, how do you convey that in a way that is engaging, in a way that sells newspapers or TV advertisements? And I have no expertise in that, so I will not say anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. So we are closing of this event. This was occasions. So we start with Rahmat. Rahmat is blessing, and then we will be ending with other Rahmat, Pak Rahmat Gobel, to close this meeting. So I would like to invite Pak Rahmat Gobel. So this is double R, Rahmat Witular and Rahmat Gobel. So then I would like to invite Pak Rahmat Gobel to close this launching.
Yang saya hormati Pak Rahmat Witular, Ketua JNPI, Pak Wahyu, Ketua Forum Pemret, serta keluarga besar Forum Pemret yang hadir pada hari ini, serta para undangan. I think I will speak in bahasa. Pak Farhan will explain to you. Karena saya kira saya ingin menyampaikan kenapa hari ini second round Green Investment Innovation Productivity, pertemuan kita dalam rangka tema ini mengajak dengan kerjasama dengan Forum Pemret. Tadi Pak Wahyu juga sudah menyampaikan bahwa ada good news dan ada bad newsnya. Dan tentu saya sepakat dengan apa yang disampaikan oleh Pak Wahyu. Oleh karena bad news itulah, makanya saya ingin men-challenge dan mengajak Forum Pemret bersama-sama keluarga besar media cetak maupun elektronika di Indonesia, bagaimana kita bisa mensosialisasikan betapa pentingnya masalah iklim dan akibat daripada perubahan atau climate change ini sendiri. Saya ingin bercerita pengalaman saya. Pada satu waktu saya melihat putra saya sedang nonton film filmnya Bill Gates ya, Al Gore di televisi. Begitu serius dia menonton, terus saya tanya sama dia, apa film yang ditonton? Kok film seperti ini yang ditonton? Ya, dia nonton berulang kali. Sampai ada kesempatan karena anak saya sekolah di Australia, Al Gore lagi ada di Australia, dia minta untuk ikut, kalau bisa duduk dan pingin salaman. Kebetulan dibantu oleh stafnya Pak Rahmat, Ibu Amanda yang mengaturnya. Saya tanya apa yang membuat tertarik. Dia mengatakan begini pada saya. Dia bilang, Pak, kalau saya hitung umur saya sekarang masih berapa anak saya lupa ya. 3 tahun yang lalu dia nonton itu ya masih 15 tahun Pak dia nonton. Kira-kira saya sudah akan menghadapi masalah yang besar. Bagaimana kalau seandainya saya punya anak? Apa yang akan dihadapi oleh keturunan saya? Kaget saya, kok dia bisa? Dia mengatakan hal itu kepada saya. Makanya saya tertarik untuk nonton ini. Apa yang akan saya hadapi ke depan? Dia mengatakan itu. Mungkin karena dia sekolah di Australia. Australia juga soal air sangat ketat saya lihat ya. Pas musim panas kata air itu sudah harus dimatiin, airnya nggak boleh seperti itu. Mungkin dia sudah merasakan betapa sulitnya pada waktu dia di sana, sementara dia di sana. Saya terus terang kagum melihat anak saya. Rupanya ini menjadi perhatian, sementara bapaknya hanya mikir dagangnya saja. Dan kita ikut mempromosikan produk ramah lingkungan tanpa memahami apa yang saya jual. Dan saya hanya mendapat laporan sales naik bagus begini, tapi tanpa memahami apa yang dimaksud dengan eco product yang diluncurkan oleh Panasonic. Sehingga membuat saya tertarik untuk memahami lebih dalam apa dan kenapa climate change dan kenapa akhirnya perusahaan juga memproduksi dan memasarkan produk yang ramah lingkungan. Saya mau coba mempelajari kembali filosofi daripada perusahaan, yang juga saya juga melihat bagaimana kehidupan di pabrik daripada apa yang dilakukan oleh perusahaan saya, yang akhirnya secara kebetulan, memang bukan secara kebetulan, memang perusahaan Panasonic Corporation itu mempunyai sudah mendeklarasikan bahwa tahun 2018 di usianya 100 tahun mengumumkan menjadi Green Innovation Company yang pertama di dunia. Padahal ekonomi dunia lagi susah, Panasonic berani mampu mengannounce menjadi Green Innovation Company pertama di dunia. Padahal situasi lagi sulit. Bagaimana, dan Jepang lagi sulit-sulitnya, dia mampu mau mengumumkan hal itu, berani mengambil sikap. Membuat saya tambah belajar lagi, apa maksud semua ini. Akhirnya memang sangat sederhana. Saya belajar di pabrik saya datang, saya ngobrol sama karyawan saya. Kebetulan ada isu, mau ada tema mau naik harga minyak, harga lain. Terus saya tanya ke pabrik saya, apa yang Anda lakukan dengan kenaikan harga minyak? Berapa dampak kenaikan itu? Cukup mengagetkan saya bahwa manajemen saya mengatakan kita nggak perlu naik harga, Pak. Loh, kenapa? Dampaknya apa nih? Berapa persen kos kita akan naik? Saya dijelaskan oleh karyawan, apa yang Anda lakukan efisien untuk meningkatkan efisiensi. Mereka cuma bilang, sesuai dengan apa yang jadi garis dari policy dari Panasonic Japan Corporation, kita harus menurunkan emisi CO2 25% di tahun 2018. Jadi seluruh kegiatan perusahaan, bagaimana penggunaan energi, baik itu minyak, solar, air, listrik, harus dikurangi. Dan bagaimana proses produksi harus lebih efisiensi dan harus lebih produktif. Hasilnya memang yang didapat adalah efisiensi itu naik, produktivitas naik, produk yang dihasilkan yang ada B class karena cacat sedikit kita harus keluarkan itu jadi barang B class sangat berkurang, boleh dikatakan mendekati angka 0. Sehingga dari situlah kos kita itu akan turunnya luar biasa. Pada waktu ada kenaikan harga minyak maupun itu, perusahaan sudah mengatakan kita tidak perlu naik karena sudah tercover secara tidak ini. Yang lebih baiknya lagi adalah kesehatan karyawan di pabrik itu luar biasa bagus. Yang sakit pusing, yang sakit ini otomatis mereka ada. Lebih hebat lagi, ada tanggung jawab dari karyawan-karyawan saya yang luar biasa tentang masalah lingkungan. Tidak heran Pak, di pabrik saya itu, satu pabrik saya yang di Cibubur, ada lebih kurang 35 jadi ketua RT Pak. Karena mampu menjelaskan tentang bagaimana sebagai pemimpin untuk membangun lingkungan. Kan ketua RT membangun lingkungan kan, tidak sekedar menjadi ketua. Jadi saya melihat bahwa ini menjadi sangat penting dan alangkah bagusnya kalau ini bisa kita share kepada masyarakat di Indonesia. Andaikan semua pabrik melakukan hal ini, berapa besar lingkungan yang akan selamat paling tidak. Andaikan kalau kita katakan 100 meter dari radius satu pabrik saja bisa memberikan semua berapa yang bisa kehidupan yang lebih baik yang bisa kita angkat. Dan apabila ini menjadi besar, ini akan memberikan dampak yang luar biasa tentunya. Itu adalah dari apa yang saya cerita, yang saya dapat pengalaman dari anak saya, sehingga saya juga bisa bercerita tentang ini yang dilakukan oleh perusahaan, supaya anak saya pun juga tidak komplain bapaknya, jangan cuma pikir gitu saja. Dan saya gembira bahwa ternyata itu memberikan dampak positif. Oleh karena itu termotivasi bagi saya untuk bisa mendorong, mensosialisasikan lebih besar tentang pentingnya masalah climate change ini sendiri. Tentu saya tidak mampu dengan sendirian, walaupun Matsushita Global Foundation bisa ini, dan tentu saya berterima kasih kepada JICA yang sudah memberikan support secara kontinu, dan saya juga berterima kasih kalau saya bisa bekerja sama dengan Forum Pemret yang bisa ikut bersama-sama mensosialisasikan betapa pentingnya masalah climate change. Memang, dan tentu juga kepada Pak Rahmat Witular dari DNPI yang mendorong terus, karena apa yang kita bicarakan memang sekarang ini tidak bisa kita rasakan, tetapi adalah generasi putra-putri kita maupun generasi ketiga dan selanjutnya yang akan merasakan apa ancaman apa dan bagaimana mereka akan menanggung daripada apa yang kita lakukan sekarang ini. Itulah sebetulnya, oleh karena itu saya mengajak, dan walaupun kecil kita coba dan membesar, terus membesar, kemudian membesar kembali. Mampukah kita bisa meyakinkan masyarakat, meyakinkan pemerintah betapa pentingnya hal ini. Apalagi kalau dilihat Indonesia sekarang ini, bahaya climate change itu, karena yang kita lihat adalah tingkat konsumtif bangsa masyarakat Indonesia yang tinggi, yang mendorong produk-produk import ilegal yang tidak ramah lingkungan, yang mempengaruhi. Kan kalau kita lihat di jalanan-jalanan itu ada mainan yang dijual, sudah pernah diumumkan bahwa mainan yang dijual di jalanan itu pada tingkat panas yang berapa derajat, tanpa kita sadari itu mengeluarkan uap. Andaikan uap itu diserap oleh anak-anak, bagaimana kita membangun daya tahan bangsa kalau daya tahan kesehatan kita saja sudah lemah. Ini hal-hal yang sebetulnya nggak kita sadari. Siapa yang berperan dan bertanggung jawab untuk mengamankan kesehatan masyarakat? Kalau kita ingin berbicara membangun daya tahan bangsa, kalau daya tahan kesehatan saja di kota Jakarta, belum lagi di daerah yang belum pemahaman tentang ini, belum paham, berapa besar kemampuan kita itu. Itu adalah hal-hal, dan oleh karena itu hal-hal yang sangat penting. Dan oleh karena itu saya mencoba terus, baik lewat seminar maupun apa, ataupun di mana peran saya. Saya juga mencoba selalu mensosialisasikan dengan berbagai program-program, termasuk sebagai pengurus di Kadin ataupun Apindo, selalu saya menyuarakan pentingnya standar nasional industri. Kenapa? Karena SNI itu bukan melindungi pabriknya, melindungi konsumennya. Yang suka disalahpahami itu SNI itu melindungi kepentingan industri, justru melindungi konsumen dari keselamatan, keamanan, dan kesehatan. Ini pun kita masih lemah. Belum lagi tingkat import yang tinggi, yang sebetulnya ini saya berbicara sebagai pengusaha dan sebagai pengurus Kadin maupun lain, melihat bahwa kalau kita import semua makin tinggi, bahan baku, sayur, buah, akhirnya tanaman kita juga berkembang. Nggak ada yang merawat tanaman-tanaman kita lewat perkebunan hasilnya, yang akhirnya akan merusak semuanya. Ini sebetulnya merupakan satu ancaman yang luar biasa, yang harus kita lihat tidak sekedar hanya bisnis semata-mata, tetapi bagaimana ketahanan bangsa ini sendiri. Itulah kenapa saya mencoba merayu Forum Pemret dengan berbagai macam cara meyakinkan, dan tentu tanpa dukungan daripada Forum Pemret, tentu ini tidak akan bisa. Paling tidak kalau besok saya dipanggil member kuasa, ditanya, saya udah yakin kan tuh kalau udah berbuat sesuatu ya Pak Wahyu. Ya, tapi ini hal-hal yang memang sebetulnya sangat urgent dan harus kita perhatikan. Sekarang bagaimana Indonesia? Ini jadi tutupnya kelamaan nih Pak ya, karena saya berbicara yang tergugah hati saya sebetulnya. Saya berbicara dari apa isi hati saya yang ada. Karena dari seorang putra saya yang kecil, anak saya mengatakan, ini apa, bagaimana umur saya. Dia tidak klaim bapaknya, cuma dia bilang, umur saya kalau nanti 30 tahun lagi seperti papa, berarti bagaimana nih? Nanti kalau saya punya anak, bagaimana anak saya? Itu yang terangkat, makanya saya harus berbuat sesuatu. Karena kalau tidak sebagai pengusaha, nggak ada artinya saya membangun perusahaan akhirnya ikut merusak lingkungan. Bapak Ibu yang saya hormati, banyak tema, dan oleh karena itu saya sangat terima kasih kepada Pak Rahmat Witular yang juga terus memotivasi dan kami untuk bisa bekerja sama bagaimana kita mensosialisasikan hal ini. Dan memang perlu pemahaman-pemahaman yang lebih luas. Dan tentu Matsuyita Global Foundation juga sedang berpikir lanjutan daripada kerjasama dengan Forum Pemret, memberikan kesempatan pendidikan, membuat program pendidikan kesempatan kepada rekan-rekan media cetak, kawan-kawan wartawan untuk pemahaman lebih dalam bagaimana tentang climate change itu sendiri, supaya bisa sampai di layer, sampai ke bawah terus. Tidak hanya itu, beberapa program Pak Wahyu saya ingin sampaikan. Kebetulan dalam rangka 55 tahun hubungan diplomatik Indonesia-Jepang, nanti saya akan minta kepada Pak Forum Pemret, kita akan buat exhibition ataupun convention tentang smart community, bagian daripada program ini sendiri. Di samping itu masih ada program lainnya yang sedang kami siapkan. Sebagai Kadin Kebaruan baru dilantik lagi kemarin, ditarik lagi saya masuk sebagai pengurus Kadin yang membidangi infrastruktur. Saya juga mengajak kawan-kawan mencetuskan pentingnya tentang green infrastruktur. Jadi bukan bicara lagi soal infrastruktur, tapi green infrastruktur. Kalau perlu dibuat green infrastructure summit dalam tahun ini ataupun tahun depan yang sedang kami siapkan. Jadi ini memang kita akan terus lakukan dalam berbagai peran yang saya ada, karena memang kita harus lakukan itu dan kita harus jelaskan. Kemarin juga tentang green infrastruktur juga baru kemarin saya jelaskan kepada kawan-kawan pengurus Kadin Provinsi apa itu Kadin tentang itu sendiri. Tapi yang jelas Pak, bahwa akhirnya bahwa masalah lingkungan adalah merupakan tanggung jawab kita semua, supaya generasi kita selanjutnya bisa kita tidak berdosa lah kepada keturunan kita. Saya sempat terakhir juga nonton film 2013 ya, 2012 ya, yang terakhir bagaimana ada macam-macam akhirnya orang naik kapal yang besar terakhir itu. Wah itu memang ya sebuah film tapi ya kita harus melihat apa sebetulnya hikmah daripada film itu sendiri. Itu tidak lepas juga dari masalah lingkungan saya kira. Jadi memang kita harus bersiap diri, karena kita tidak pernah tahu apa yang akan terjadi. Yang jelas kalau sikap perilaku kita seperti sekarang tanpa kita ini akan juga menjadikan ikut mendukung susahnya masyarakat ke depan, generasi ke depan. Termasuk mungkin Pak Rahmat Witular, masalah subsidi juga penting juga tuh Pak. Karena subsidi itu ikut kontribusi menciptakan peningkatan emisi CO2 Pak. Jadi kalau subsidi dihapuskan mungkin ikut membina, membangun masyarakat yang lebih sehat ke depan. Jadi itu boleh disampaikan. Karena akhirnya orang akan lebih hemat sadar dan hemat melakukan sesuatu. Anak-anak naik motor nggak ada kebut-kebutan, ya kan? Jadi kita akan lebih tahu diri, lebih menghormati pentingnya energi. Jadi ini penting Pak. Memang kalau di negara maju Eropa, Amerika sudah paham ya. Memang kita negara yang kaya, jadi suka lupa kita. Kalau orang kaya kan lupa Pak ya. Itulah Pak. Mungkin salah satu bahwa kenapa memang kalau subsidi jangan lagi pakai dipinin lagi Pak, jangan pakai dibatas-batasin, hapus aja udah, jelas programnya. Jadi kita menata hidup yang lebih baik, kita menghormati apa yang kita gunakan produk. Saya sih sebetulnya kalau bisa saranin, saya mau saranin Pak, seperti dikaitkan dalam rangka climate change ini sendiri. Ya karena itulah apalagi kalau misalnya import meningkat tadi, kembali lagi hasil bumi kita import. Kalau kita nggak bisa bangun pertanian kita, perkebunan kita lebih baik, lebih kuat, yang ada nggak ada lagi yang jaga kita punya tanah-tanah kita, nggak ada yang bisa mengelola, petani kita juga nggak sejahtera. Akhirnya ya semua terbuang begitu saja. yang akhirnya ya membuat kita tambah tidak sejahtera sebetulnya. Ini bukan, ini hanya merupakan isi hati pandangan dari putra saya yang akhirnya saya harus berpikir keras. Apa yang harus kita lakukan? Kebetulan nih, ya walaupun kecil kita lakukan hal yang bisa kita lakukan. Tanpa harus berkomentar, kita melangkah. Jadi sekali lagi saya sangat terima kasih kepada bapak-bapak dan ibu-ibu. Pak Helmi, jelasin. Do you understand what I'm saying? At least you can ask to him. At this point, you can explain the point. Pak Farhan, hebat Pak Farhan. Jadi itulah Bapak Ibu, saya mohon support dari bapak-bapak keluarga besar Pemret atau Forum Pemret. Saya ingin mengajak, mari kita sama-sama bekerja membangun. Saya juga sebagai mahasiswa Global Foundation tentu berpikir saya setuju bahwa salah satu program tadi adalah pembinaan, membuat kesempatan program pembinaan kepada kawan-kawan media cetak ataupun elektronika untuk pemahaman lebih mendalam tentang climate change itu sendiri. Sebetulnya sedang saya godok dengan Pak Yusman sama Pak Farhan untuk hal ini, dan tentu juga dengan program-program lain yang coba kami pikirkan. Tapi memang paling indah kalau semua perusahaan melakukan hal ini ya. Cuma saya agak bagaimana cara meyakinkannya juga saya tidak tahu. Tapi ya kita coba, palingnya kita coba dengan cara kita sendiri lah. Apa yang bisa kita lakukan kita lakukan lah. Saya juga nggak berani kalau terlalu banyak ngomong sama perusahaan lain nanti so tahu gitu kan ya enak juga ya. Jadi kita melangkah dengan ini sendiri lah. Tapi saya yakin dengan dukungan daripada Forum Pemret, insya Allah kita bisa membangun kesadaran lebih besar kepada semua masyarakat, dan kita juga bisa mengajak para pelaku usaha maupun pelaku industri juga. Kita harus bangun konsep mereka soal ini juga, karena ini juga menjadi tanggung jawabnya para kita semua. Demikian Bapak Ibu dan Pak Farhan, terima kasih atas inisiatifnya yang mempersiapkan acara hari ini. Sekali lagi terima kasih atas kehadiran Bapak-bapak dan Ibu-ibu. Insya Allah hari ini kita memulai langkah baru lagi untuk menyongsong masa depan untuk generasi keturunan kita di masa yang akan datang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Pak Rahmat. Thank you Pak Rahmat. I don't know how to translate all this big idea, but I think I just to summarize. Also, this is Pak Rahmat try to challenge all of us together to socialize both the bad and also good ideas of green. So with that, I would like to again thank you very much for you all, and please also I will be circulating all this very interesting discussion, and we will be starting soon next month, probably in the mid of April, to discuss more in depth the issues, and I will be discussing in private with some of you if you are interested in to share in this forum. Once again, thank you so much, and then see you next time. Thank you.